Should I be waiting for the call? Hold on. I'm really serious with this. I'm not fooling around, but I do fool around with my videos because what do you want to come in here and I'd rather you spend time on here and get a memory out of one of the jokes that brings on a thought of what I bring inside on the new realm of my next expression of the explanation I'm going to give you on this video. Okay? Now there was one guy, and I understand him. You have to understand. For all those who out there that don't understand me, I'm going to explain to you. It's pretty simple. I bounce things off in front of each other. It's like walking into the psychiatrist's office or psychologist, and he says, what's the first thing you see in the picture? That's the way my mind works. It's the first thing. If I have to try and figure out this planet by myself, how would I ever be able to guess? I have to be certain. Okay? And at the same time, I must be honest and true. So if it's the top of my mind, it's as honest as true because I did not think about it. I'm telling you exactly what's on top of my mind, what came out. And that's the way it is. That means I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just what comes and how things bounce in my mind. So if you're coming to see how the ball bounces, you've come into the right area. Sometimes the ball's a little bit all over the place and it's not coming back. But there's a method to do this. First of all, everybody that's here, I mean no harm to any of you, those who are following me, and I know it seems stupid. I don't really believe it 100%, but I definitely know that the system, matrix, follows me 24 hours a day in 5-period increments. Okay, I don't know how it works exactly, but I do know it's 5, because 5 times 12 is 60, and 72 by 5 is 360 to go all the way around in one sphere. But we know there's more than one sphere, because the Mercedes emblem shows 3 areas of 120 degrees each. If you flip them around, they'll come together and touch, and it'll show you outside a point. But it'll show you more than just one point. See, this is the Mercedes on the outside. If I had to flip this on the inside and put all of these, I'm going to show you what will happen. Oh, I should be letting you watch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is not a time thing, okay? This is not a time thing, okay? Now we need nothing for our head because we can't fly, okay? Just 1 second. How is everybody? What's in my mouth? Do you know I used to smoke cigarettes all the time? Am I going to forget what I'm telling you? Or you don't want to spend the time here anymore? Well, go away. Go away. Stay and go away. I don't want anybody to leave. I don't really want to do it always this way, the way I do it, and take up so much of your time. I know that time is precious. But if we're not going to enjoy coming into the future and seeing what the future brings, then what good am I? I did tell you about the Grover Cleveland X and O. You want to see something? See this? Here's your box. This is your O, and I can fit an X right in between. There's only 3 letters I can fit in between. One is the Z, one is the N, and one is the X. So when you say all these, this is 26, this is 14, this is 24. 26 and 24, dog, dog, dog. 8 is house, cat. 26 and 24 is 50. 26 and 24 is 50. 1 and 19 is 20. 17 and 23. The in-between is the T letter. Okay? If we take the Z letter, okay, 2 times 6, 2 plus 6, we end up getting 20. If we take the 0, now I'm going to just change subjects for a second, okay? I just want to say something for middle. I always said that 0 is 15, right? But 0 shows it comes from a family of double 0. So in the dice, once it's under in the dice, the 6 in the dice, the opposite is 8. So if I put the 0 at 6 right over here, because man has to get the first part of his spirit, okay? And I put the 8 over here. Let's say this was 10 before, okay? So this 1 and this 8, I put the 1 down here, it becomes a 9 with the 8. We now have 96. What if it was a 2 over here, and this was a 0? Don't forget, in Roman numerals, you can have X, X, X in Roman numerals, or, and this would be, let's say this would be an L, this would be 80, 80. 80, XXX is what we talked about as the opposite of your 8. We have 80 with the wing. It's the left wing, okay? Now we can put one over here. Now we have XXXXX. These two will cancel out each other, canceling out this altogether. This will stay alone. We have the 20 world. How 20? X and X is 10 and 10 is 20, but they're the 24th letter in the alphabet, making 34 and 34 equal to 68. 34 is Earth and Mars. It's all about Earth and Mars. Mars is the sandbox, and Earth is the prism inside, turning around, and whoa! Now I can think. But I didn't get a puff of this yet. Okay, let's go back onto this. Okay, by the way, that was not real weed. I don't smoke real weed. I smoke Mary Jane. I'm going to draw this to here. I'm going to draw this to here. And now if I really want, it could just become an entire fish. See the top? This is your communication. It's open. This is closed. We can also, do you see the way the star comes in here? I'm going to show you the rest of the way what it would look like. Okay? See the star that came in here? This is actually, if you want, is the swastika. If you want, I don't know how it's done. I think it's done. I saw somebody doing it, but anyways, this goes across. This goes up and down. This would be the I. One would be the plus. One would be the minus. The minus would be here. The minus would be here. Is that the way we do it? I don't know. But this is the way the inside world comes to be. We end up with the Mercedes sign here, the Mercedes sign here, the Mercedes sign here, and the Mercedes sign here. Now we have 4 squadrons. I'm not exactly sure what to do. They look like pegs. I do not know what to do, but you see this side here? See this side here? It's a big, I don't know what it is. I see it, but I don't know what it is. Okay? I forgot to finish with this. 26, 50, the total equals 64. Zion is 64. Israel is 64. And 0 is 64. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 and 24 is 34. Earth and Mars again. The cat, the dog, and the cross on the back. 14 is the cross on the back. That's the center of Rubik's Cube. 26 is the dog pound. Okay? And 24 is the cat lives inside the dog pound where he does cat scratch fever. He scratches for the information. When you scratch the white ball. What is the white ball? 2 questions. The heart. How does the blood move around? Okay? And somehow there's little balls inside our, just little balls that spin all the time. And what these little balls do is they have dimples in it. And every time the ball turns with the dimple, it picks up some of the information and it relays it back to the top. But the minute it picks up the information, the minute it touches inside the dimple, it's read all the way around. It's been able to read. And that's how we can talk and understand and hear. And what I'm telling you is the truth. I'm only telling you the way I see it. The truth, there is no truth out there. There's no truth beyond the truth. So we saw these 3 things over here. Now, when we play with them again, we didn't do the O yet, okay? The O is the 15th letter. That's where it's caught in between. So now we add the 15 onto here, equals to 79. Now, 7 and 9 are special, okay? In this 9 group, okay, comes the moon. There's a moon in each of these groups here, okay? Am I sure about this? I couldn't be more certain. How do I know? They remove a letter from here and a letter from here and they put it on the number 1 of the debit machines. The number 1 is the 17 for the queen. And the number Z is the 26 for the dog pound. They took away 17 and 26, which is 9 in between the 2. 26 and 17 is Barack Obama in the dog pound. 7 times 9 is 63, creation of 666 in the age-old residency. This one is the egg, this one is Mars, and this one is Saturn. These planets over here. 6 times 4 is 24, 6 plus 4 is 10, is 34, 3 and 4 is 7. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 2 is what you get from this. How do we get 7 and 2? 9 times 8. Why do we use the 8 and not 7 times 8? Well, 7 times 8 is the communication of the spirit, where you add up 4, 5, and 6 to equal to the number of 18. I'm not going to explain that right now. Okay? In pi, P-I, pi, 3.14159265 is right here. This is what pi is all about. Do you want me to show you? I'm going to show you right now. 3.141592. Okay? The 3 is the creation of the entire equation because C also completes this whole thing. Do you understand? C, and then you close it. So the C is here because the C is this side, the C would be the other side, and then there would be a C here and a C here. It would all be enclosed. So the white cross ends up to be what this 3 is all about. And don't forget, it's U-N-C, the way these numbers are put together. Let's not talk about them. Let's talk about Zion. Z is 26. Okay? Here's your 2. Here's your 6. Okay? 3.14. Okay? The 1-4 is the letter N. So we're going to put this, we're going to put Z. We're going to put the letter N. Okay? I is the 9th letter. I is the 9th letter. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 4 and 5 is 9. Or the 9th letter right over here. 9, I for Zion, 9. I'm going to put the I. Now the 15th letter, okay, is the O in Zion. The O in Zion. We got the O in Zion. Now these are the only letters you can create inside a singletary box, going from all the way around the box, or splitting up the box in 4 with X. This X gets split up with 4. Number 26, this is part of the dog pound, splitting up it in 4. Zion, and these are the only numbers. When you add the numbers, it becomes the 79, which is creation of the 666. When you multiply and re-add, 9 times 7 is 63, which is 3 and 6 is 9, which would be the I letter. 9 plus 7 is 16, which would be the P letter. And there you get pi, right out of your 7 and 9, out of your Zion, creating from your Mercedes. Now in the Mercedes, look, you have 4 individual eras. But look at your E here. Do you see the other letter E here? The way this goes out and this goes out and this is shorter. Here's your E and E, your electronic world. O, E, I, O, E. E-I-E-I-O stands over here. Why? Here's the I. Look at this. You see even the part, this Y over here, sometimes Y for an I. Well, look at this. It's also showing you 2 sides of the corner. But this is the I. At the same time, you can call it the H. You can say it's H and I. So you have everything over here, your H, your I, your E, I, E, I, and the whole thing together is an O. 60 seconds, okay? That's what I want to talk about next. See that? That's basically what it comes to. And if you take a look, there's a box. And this is where your cube would go, inside of this box. And then there's reflection. There's wiring that goes down. You see the 2 eyes over here? See the 2 eyes over here? So this is the reflection. There's underneath. Don't forget, if it turns on top, it has to turn underneath, or it has to point underneath, but it has nothing to do with anything, but the points will already be there. I mean, it's like you walk into a place and the guy hung up hats, and you take all the hats off and the rack is still there. But because the hats are on them, you don't see any of the rack. So only imagine the hats. Couldn't imagine what the rack looked like. Lately, I couldn't imagine what any rack looks like. But if it's the flying pigs, that's the only rack of ribs I'll want to fly with. Pigs, my friend. I was the only Jewish pig farmer here in Quebec, not counting my cousin. I've eaten with the pigs. I slept with the pigs. I got out of my truck and sometimes took showers while they were still in the truck. I drove pigs at about 1,200 miles a week minimum. For 20 years, I drove something to do with pigs for 20 years. Okay, at 1,500 miles a week. That's 75,000. That's close to 1,000,000 miles I drove around with the pigs. Not one of them said a word. No water, no food, 15 hours at a time. No water, no food, 15 hours at a time. Think they came back stressed? Then they get a disease called Haemophilus. And the pharmacies, oh my God, I went to Jamaica. I had the best time of my life. I went to Jamaica. All on the pharmaceuticals that we bought to try and cure the disease they called Haemophilus. Morphus, Morpheus, to morph, Haemophilus. So we know now, because they named it that disease, and I never thought about this before. I believe so wholeheartedly because I can see the word and hear the sound within the word of what the disease is for osmosis. And one of you ladies out there had told me about this, if I ever had an osmosis stream of some sort where I can actually run my dream. Well, there have been dreams that I've been in, and I wanted to fly, and I said, shit, I know I'm sleeping, I don't know how this works, but I want to fly. But it wasn't as real as I saw the Titanic in the sky in 2010. But I wasn't being too well in my head. But you know what? It was the well in my head that I needed to dig in order to see a little bit deeper down the rabbit's hole. They want to stop you. The first thing they wanted me to do when this all started with me, all the doctor says, stop what you're doing. Don't write anything. Don't write anything. They wanted me to stop before I began, and they didn't even know why. They still don't even know why. They still ask me. In fact, this was the first doctor's appointment that the doctor didn't ask me if I'm still writing. She didn't even ask me if I smoke weed anymore. The only thing she wanted to know is how many Ativans I'm taking. I go, man, I take one every time I come see you, and I bluff my way through. Life is a bluff. You play poker, you get stroked, you get burned. Would you like another card, sir? Oh, these 4 will do fine, but sir, you need 5 cards, don't worry. Did a little painting. So, I'd say that by the end of the weekend, there's a chance that that's finished. Now, it's not as bright as the other one, but I haven't detailed it yet. So where are we going to go next? Nevada, okay, is built like it has a slanted building on it. It looks like a razor blade. They're singing this song about royal and purple. Where did we get this? Sorry to interrupt you, but the radiator of a truck, okay, the radiator of the truck from Ford looks like, if you remove the center shows thing of Ford, it looks like 2 bridges crossing each other. It looks exactly like the Canadian $20 bill. This is what it looks like. See these 2 buildings? So there was a round piece. I'll try and show you it. Hold on. There was a round piece like this in between. The radiator is in the front of the truck. We need to cool our mind down. Boy, I'm sweating. We need to cool the mind down. That's the radiator is in the head. The pigs have it on their nose, they perspire. We perspire on the head. We must have other exits also under the arms and somewhere between the legs. But if you took away the legs, there wouldn't be no between the legs. You'd be going down by the point. You see, up here, there's 2 sides. But down there, okay, down there, okay, there's 1 point. But no matter what, there's still 2 sides to connect. The letter R, the small r, makes the heart. It's all about the R, which is the 18th letter. The R and all the letters, I mean, there's a bunch of letters in the alphabet. D, part of E is a D. E and D, you turn the E sideways, it becomes an E. Now it's electronic. So we know that D is the electronic part, in which A and B, alpha and beta, the earth and the wisdom of the creator, comes into number 4. 4 has 4 corners. 4 has 4 corners, okay? So it's like the jack. It's like the jack. It's got 4 sides, okay? So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the sock. You go 3 this way and 1 this way, And that's the sock. Okay? Where is it the sock? It's a Christmas sock. Christmas sock also stands for a wing. But the 4 is right here. The D and the 4. The D turns sideways, and because it's on another level, there's another bevel. Because everything curls. Because if it didn't curl, how would you pick it up? If everything lied flat on the ground, you couldn't get your feet underneath. If you need to pick something up with cranes, it's better. If you need to pick it up with something like the size of this, so you make it like a funnel, so you can pick up things. In this world, everything is created. Now, I still didn't do the thing on 666 or the 3 little pigs, so I'm going to keep it as 2 videos then. Okay? Another thing I wanted to say is that there's a place in Nevada that doesn't exist. It's called Nevada Bluff Courthouse. Okay? This Nevada Bluff Courthouse also reminds me of something to do with Virginia, because Virginia and states, if I remember, they're right next to each other. In the Monopoly game, they are a purplish, and next to the orange, where states is with Tennessee and New York. And there's a number 24 hanging out in Tennessee this weekend, and I don't like it. Montreal Canadiens went to St. Louis and now to Tennessee, singing the blues from Tennessee to where they go to sing in Tennessee. Up is the blues. Highway 44 runs along from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way into Oklahoma, in which where you're going to jump onto Highway 40. Highway 40 is the word for blue. So if there's something happening on Highway 40, BLUE is 40. 60 seconds on the clock is orange. Clockwork orange. Figures just works out that perfect, eh? And 6 would be 66. Or, if we were using the 00, this is something new and I'm not getting into it. I'm just trying to take a look. I mean, you can look. This is part of what's happening on this Earth. Okay, this is the Earth. This would be the Moon. And it's got some sort of connection completely around. This spins. This spins. This is on one side. Okay, I mean, it's more of an angle like this, because we can go around the Earth. And when I tell you Israel and Zion and 0 are all 64s, well, guess what? If you look at Earth, if you look at the reality of Earth, the level of life is actually between 40 and 60. I think anybody that lives below 40 and 60 maybe is on the other side of the, like if we turned like half and half, 40, 60 at the top, between 40 and 60 at the bottom, or, okay, because it's electricity, 40 would be in the middle, 40 to 60, 20 up, 40 to 60, 20 down. So you're able to work from 20 to 60, again, number 26. What fits in between 26? 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5 is the electricity. The D angle from the D letter, the E letter, not the F letter, the P letter. All these letters come in the same parts. If you had to go and build them, you would be using the same pieces, just turning them in different directions. So you'd get one number for the direction and one number for the pieces in which you put them, and then it creates the letter, but all you have is the coordinates. So there's our Mercedes. Okay, silver is number 85. Silver, I think, has to do with the speed, because the reverse connection of the communication is 58. 85, 58, 58, 85, it doesn't matter. It's all 13, 13, 13. 1 and 3 is 4, 1 and 3 is 4. It's all the end point of everything is, the question is Barack Obama the 44-8 or is he the 7-1-8? He's the 7-1-8. He can't be the 4-4 because he'd only all of the sandbox. He's the mind of the prison. 4 and 3 makes 7. Then 5 and 2 in the cards makes 7. 1 and 7 makes the queen. The real queen is number 62. The real queen has the number of the dog. The Q letter has the number of the man. The 1 spirit is 7. The light. That's actually the light. I don't think anybody can own the light. 07 is the place. 07 is the area the light stands. 16 is the area of where the light is. Now it's 2444. So Barack Obama, if he's 62, 26 on one side, 23, 20, 17, 14. Another thing, sorry to mix that up, But ISIN, number 28 and 29, are completely connected together in the 1 and the 2 row of the roulette board. Now 14 to 23, or 14 all the way over to 32, from one end to the other end. 14 to 32 is 18. We live inside that. On one side it's the spirit, on the other side it's the soul, and we all come together at PQRSTU equals to 111. 110 plus 1, the top story of the Twin Towers, is the center of the gematria tree. Jesus in time is the center of the electronic world. That's right. Electronic world 5, 14, 23, 32 equals 74. Jesus equals 74. Christ equals 77. Hot and cold water equals 77. The birth of Christ, 33 by 47 equals 1551. 1551 to the 7 world is 15, 1 and 6, 5 and 2 be 6226. Jesus Christ, electronic world creation. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I'll be right back at you about the dogs.